Interesting. The first three categories are agreed upon by all scholars. Now, he might say not all scholars agree with, let's say, the fourth category. Sure, he's saying there is disagreement. Doesn't mean there is no fixed ruling. The fact that there is disagreement doesn't mean that the ruling has not been fixed already. So it means that some guy somewhere at some time didn't like it, but today it's a fait accompli. The rulings are done. There is no discussion. It's done. So yeah, so there we go. Now, so I'm very much ending up here, so I'll be finishing in a moment. So abrogation. So now let's just a brief diversion to the Sharia, right? So looking at the reliance of the traveler. So abrogation, nask of revealed ruling by others, and they call it supersession, to supersede. So in the Sharia, we see here abrogation, nask of revealed rulings by other revealed rulings called supersession. So the Sharia says it exists. Okay, another reference, this is within the index of the reliance of the traveler. Now let's look at mansuk. What do they call it? A type of Quranic ruling, and it's called supersession. So what has been superseded, or what supersedes something else, replaces. Nasik, Quranic ruling, supersession. So what's interesting is supersession, if you look through the Sharia, through the reliance, you're not going to find anything on this. I think this didn't make it into the book, or it's maintained in the original Arabic. Supersession, Nask. Now, this is what I want to bring your attention to. Lloyd, you're destroying Islam with Islamic facts. Some people call that mean, we call that the truth. Um, so let me get to some, so pinpoint. On that point, I need to tell you that in Islamic law, there's a concept called ghiba, Ghiba, ghiba. We know it as slander, okay? Now, in Western law, slander is if I lie about someone and I make that knowledge public. So if a newspaper prints a story saying that, someone did something and it, theft or whatever, or immoral, or just that embarrasses and defames them, right? You can sue because that's a lie. It's false and it's provably false. So therefore, you can sue a slander. In Islam, ghiba, slander, is something completely different. In Islamic law, slander is to tell the truth, right? To tell the truth about someone, but it's a truth he doesn't want known because it's embarrassing to him. That's slander. So if you write the truth, if you speak the truth in an Islamic context, but it's a truth that someone would prefer people don't know, they can sue you for slander. Interesting. So in Islamic law, this is yeah, slander is to tell the truth, but something embarrassing they don't want to know. So when we speak about Islam and we reveal things like the semen, on Muhammad's clothing that Aisha literally scraped off with their hands and fingernails, this is slander. Okay, that's why they say, why do you hate so much? You're spreading hate, because it is against the law to embarrass Islam. It is against the law to embarrass the Islamic nation. It's against the law to embarrass Allah, to embarrass Muhammad. This is against the law for Muslims to do, and it's against the law for us to do. Sharia applies to us as well, don't forget. So you are spreading slander, see, by doing this. It's true. Yes, it's 100% true. It's verifiably, authentically, totally true, and it's against the law to do so. It's a crime. So that's slander in Islam. I hope that made sense. It makes no freaking sense, but yeah, I hope it made sense. So even though they had a goat, yeah. So hadith abrogates hadith KL? Yes, it does. How do you know which hadith? You don't. You don't. They won't give you a list. They won't tell you. They'll confuse the hell out of you for sure. They'll do that for free any day. If you want to know what still remains, what you have to go to the Sharia manuals. If you want to know what verses are still valid, if you want to know what hadith is still valid, you have to go to the Sharia manuals, to Islamic law, because those legal texts contain the verses in their context. It explains them and applies them in context. The Sharia is the only way to know what Islamic verses and what hadith still apply or still valid. And if you look through the Sharia manuals and you read which verses, I mean, man, I'm gonna suck a number out of my thumb, but from reading the Sharia manuals as I have over the last few years, it must be maybe 200 verses, maybe 100. Hell, I don't know. There's not many verses from the Quran that actually made it into the Hadith. Very few, 100, maybe 200. I don't think it's more than that. So of all the 7,000 or 6,000 verses in the Quran, a couple of hundred at best, if I'm right, if I've counted correctly, I'm just, a couple of hundred at best have survived. 99% of the Quran has been abrogated. All that's left is a handful of verses that have made it into the Sharia. So yeah. Yeah, just some questions and comments. Everything contradicts itself. Malik, that is true. This is all Islamic slander. Exactly. I'm slandering Islam. That's exactly. Let me see. So the truth is very alien to Islam. Yes. Okay, so now supersession. Now notice supersession of all religions by Islam. So Islam claims to have abrogated all religions, including Christianity. So Islam abrogates us.